Hey everybody, welcome to ClausenWorld. Okay, you see I'm in the car, right? Well, instead of being upset and or despondent over all the time and effort I put into trying to get a pecan air layer, my light bulb came on. I totally forgot. My friend who supplies me with coffee grounds and banana peels and who I watch his dog when he's out of town has pecan trees in his backyard. Of course, he's on a rented property just like me, but that's okay. They not gonna know that I trimmed up that tree a little bit. So I went out on a ride today, and guess what I'm on my way back to the house with? Yes, pecan tree clippings. There has been a lot of bad weather in our area, from snow to ice and cold, lots of rain. And because of that, the tree has suffered a little bit and some of the branches have fallen and broken off. So I was able, on a couple of the branches that were hanging lower than they were before, I was able to get some clippings. So in today's episode, I am going to pot up those pecan clippings and we're going to try this again. I made it back to the house with the pecan clippings. Let's see. Y'all know I got a lot of stuff in the shed. But these are the pecan clippings, and I have the bottom wrapped in a wet paper towel. I didn't close the bag, but I did tuck the bag around like that, and I set it inside the car. But these are the pecan clippings. I'm going to be taking off the majority of these leaves because I don't want it to focus on all of these leaves and limbs. I just want it to focus on roots. I did do a lot of reading on it, and I know it's possible to actually root this way. So I'm going to give it a try. But what I did first was I bought a pot some months ago from the big box store, and I saved some packing peanuts from when I received some different packages throughout the year. These are compostable, biodegradable, compostable peanuts, but I do have some that are not biodegradable, and I just didn't want to go through picking all of these out. But I fill the bottom of this pot with these peanuts, not only to make the pot a little bit lighter, but to help with adequate drainage. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up halfway with soil. And then at that halfway mark, I'm going to go ahead and put some specific fertilizer for pecan trees. And I have that around here. Let's see. I should have had all my props ready, like right here for you guys, but yeah, no, not today. It's on the ground. And I've got some zinc. Zinc helps to prevent and control rosette on pecan trees, provides an excellent source of zinc, and you can also use this as a foliar spray or as a soil treatment. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. I'm also going to put some plant tone in there as well, because the plant tone has mycorrhiza fungi, and the whole point of this is to feed the new roots as well as growing roots. But it's not going to be throughout the soil. It's going to be at the bottom, so that when those roots do form and it begins to feed, it'll have food down in the bottom of the pot. So let's get started. Now I've already opened up my bag of soil. It's on the floor, the ground, and I'm going to get my scoop and just start filling up this pot. So I'm sure you all have seen many tutorials on how people fill pots up. I'm not going to have you all sit here and watch me fill this pot up, but I am going to show you a little bit of that. So let's move in closer so you can actually see the pot. Now that pot number one has been partially filled to about 1.5 to 2 inches from the lip of the top, I need to clean my shears because it's time to cut on that pecan clipping. Now, I just took a bottle that I had in the house that I'm reusing, and I filled it with some disinfectant spray, and I am going to just clean off my shears, because it's important that you keep your shears clean, and when you're about ready to make some cuts on any plant material, that your shears don't have any previous residue or anything from something else you might have used them for. And you all know I use mine a lot all the time. At least you see them regularly. You might not know that I use them all the time, but you see them fairly regularly. Wiping the hand grips too, because they felt grimy. Now I may need to try to sharpen this blade, because I don't remember if they were sharpened the last time I used them, or if they needed to be sharpened after the last time I used them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a quick sharpen. So hold that thought. Sheer diamond coated sharpener blade thingy bobby. It's for bypass pruners. So I picked this up probably last year, I want to say, from Walmart, I do believe. And I don't know if you all have actually seen anybody do this before, but your bypass pruners only need to be sharpened on one side. You don't have to worry about doing anything to this right here. And you take it like this, and it has instructions on the back. So you can, if you're not certain, there are instructions on the back. But you take it like, can you guys see, like that, and then you just swipe it. And I hope you guys can see how it's now beginning to the coloring is starting to change, and it's looking more silver and less like it has stuff on it. Can you guys see that, how it's looking kind of silver now? Before it was kind of brown. I know I'm real close to the camera, I'm sorry y'all, but you do that and make sure that your blade is nice and sharp, and you just swipe it this way, going away from the center. Just swipe it like that. And I hope you guys can see how now it looks. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. You can see it looks more silver versus how it was tarnished earlier. And I can show you on the back how tarnished it looks. And now I've been able to sharpen that side. So let me finish this up, and then we'll get to cutting. Be right back. All sharp, ready to go. Okay, so now that we're sharpened, we're clean. Now we just need to get our pecan clippings. And I have 2 branches here. And I could take this and cut this down into much smaller pieces, but you guys know that's not what I'm getting ready to do. I am going to take a piece. Well, let me think about that. I was thinking of taking this piece right here, this small little branch, and grafting it onto my other pecan, and I may still do that. So I'm going to leave it on here, but I'm going to cut off all of these leaves. All of these extra leaves here, I'm going to cut them off. Let's see. It's already stressed. I don't want it to be stressed any more than it already is. So we're just going to take those off. And I'm going to leave that one leaf there, because I am going to take this off, and I'm going to graft this onto my existing pecan tree. Because I do believe this is a Stewart. And so I'm just going to continue on clipping off these leaves like so, and I'll be back. I have cut almost all of the leaves off, just a few on the top branches. And I'm going to take this time to kind of shape it up a little bit to make sure that it has the look that I want it to have. And now I'm going to find, you know what? I left my grafting knife in the house, so I'm going to have to do what I normally do anyway and use my loppers and take off the bark down to the cambium layer. And I have 1, 2, 3 nodes here. So I'm just going to take it off to about here. And I should have brought my grafting knife into the shed. And I was not thinking straight. I was so excited to just go ahead on and get this done. But that's all right. I may end up going in and getting it anyway, because I don't like how this is going. Okay, you know what? Nope, I'm not going to get my grafting knife, but I'm not going to use that. All right, I disinfected. Sorry about that, I dropped something. I disinfected the box cutter. And so I am going to try and cut off this bark as well as this cambium layer, and I'm hoping this is going to work. Like I said, I did some reading up on it, and it says it's going to work, but you know how that goes. Trial and error, right? And so I'm just taking this down, making sure that there aren't any any green exposed, because I don't want this to believe it's still, even though it should already know it's not attached to the tree. But stranger things have happened. You know, you can cut something and it still blossom, and you think that it's dead, or you think something's dead and it blossoms. So, you know, plants are amazing. They do their own thing. Okay. I hope can you guys see? Y'all probably can't see. I feel like I'm whittling. I'm just trying to go up about 2 inches or so. There we go. To make sure that I have at least 2 nodes. Because I want to make sure that there's a great possibility of this rooting. So I am almost done. Hope you guys can see. And I hope I said it, but I don't remember if I did. My brain is concerned about getting this right. But I did clean the blade. I do have my rooting hormone here. And I'm going to place this into the rooting hormone like so. And you don't need a lot. I always tap it off. It may look like a lot sometimes. Sometimes it might actually be a lot. But I try not to put a lot on there. I hope you guys can see. I know it's a little bit difficult to see while I'm in the shed, because there's just so much to focus on when I'm in here. But I'm trying now to make sure that I get rooting hormone up towards that top node, and I'm just pouring it on and tapping it off, making sure that it's coated. All right, now, like I always do, I'm going to use my pencil. Now all I do is I take my pencil and I'm going to put it straight in the center, or thereabouts in the center, and I make a hole. That's all I do, just like that. Now, it's best not to put your clippings or new plantings into dry soil. So I'm actually going to put some water in this pot and moisten this soil a little bit more because this soil was only a tiny bit damp. So let me get the water. It's on the floor. Okay, I have the water, but just leave my pencil right there. And I'm just going to moisten the soil like so. Just enough. There we go. Just want to moisten it up. I don't want it to be sopping wet. Now I'm going to take my pencil, take it out of the pot, and I'm going to place my clipping, hopefully by not taking off any of that rooting hormone or taking off very little of that rooting hormone. And I'm just going to firm around that soil. And you see how that soil is sinking in? Well, it's wet. See, I should have used my other gloves, but it's wet and it wasn't firm. So I'm actually going to add, you see how the soil level dipped? See, it dipped. And that's too much soil that I need to make up for. So I'm going to put about another 2 inches of soil in here. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to firm around the edges. And as you can see, this soil is really sinking because it wasn't firm. I didn't firm it in at all. There we go. And I'm just going to backfill this with soil, give it a little bit more soil. I'm going to top dress this with mulch. And then I'm going to do the very same thing to the other pot. And I'm actually going to leave this out, not uncovered. I'm going to leave it in a covered area and let it do what it do. So let me put more soil in here and then do the same process with the other clipping. And I'll be right back. As promised, I have finished potting up the pecan trees. I've brought them inside the house. I topped them with mulch so that the soil can stay moist. And I even took a few clippings that I was thinking about grafting onto my pecan tree outside, and I made a few smaller pecan trees in peekaboo cups. So we'll see how that works out. So this is the pecan experiment. Excuse all the plants in the background, you guys. But this is the pecan experiment that I have going on right now, and hopefully I will have pecan trees, nice sized pecan trees, in the spring. We shall see, and I'll keep you updated. Until the next video, bye for now.